Here today, this time in this video, I will tell you how to get better in games, especially FPSs, and but every game will get benefits from this. It's matter of money, but there are some tweaks and perks that can be used by everyone, so you can have advantages without spending a shitload of money. But before beginning, let me show you how I was playing before all those things I did.
No, è fatto in tempo ad ammazzarmi. Bravo. Che fa? Aspetta il tram? Bella mira, giù. Invece lui spara meglio.
As you can see, my aim was bad. I couldn't really track well enemies. My reaction times were slower, and this is a multitude of factors. One is the internet connection. The second one is the mouse and keyboard. The third one is the monitor. I will tell you step by step. So this is my mouse, Silvercrest. I got it from Lidl. I think everyone in Europe have this supermarket chain, but it's not this one in particular that I'm telling to you. Get this. This is one example. So DPI. This goes to 4K DPIs, and I use it in 4K DPIs. Many people use only 1750. So DPI does work about speed. I like having many DPIs because it will give me more accuracy, and I noticed it's accurate as fuck. And I lowered the speed with this, because if the mouse speed is too high, you're going to see shit. You're going to have an image that's more like 30 FPS than 60 FPS. The first thing, the most important thing about the mouse, besides the speed and the DPIs, is this. This is a 1K Hertz mouse. I don't know if you can see it from the video. You see, it's faster, but it's shit. You can see it's not fluid, but at 1K, really fluid. This will prevent the low FPS sensation. And this is it. I think many gaming mouse will have this option too. That is important, and as many DPIs as you want. You can tweak the speed in Windows or in game, but you better use that in game and leave Windows alone, because if you fuck it up, it will do a severe stuttering, and that's not the ideal thing to do. Now about the monitor, one of the best thing you can have is a 144 Hz gaming monitor. This is really going to make the difference. You're not going to believe it if you never tried playing with more than 60 FPS. This is the one I got. It's curved, it won't strain your eyes at all. It's like not using a monitor. But the curve is something you have to value yourself. So 144 Hz, 1 millisecond, and a very low input lag, because you are getting a lag even from your monitor, and that's the important thing you have to know. It's going to make you aim a lot better, track enemy a lot better. You're going to have a better reaction time, not only by the input lag and shit, but even because double FPS means double reaction time, because with 60 FPS you have a 16 milliseconds delay. In 144 is like 7. So you have, if you know, when you play at 40 ping, that's 40 milliseconds. You notice when you are playing 280 or 100. So if you notice this, having almost 10 milliseconds less in reaction time by only the FPSs is going to make a bit of a difference. And if you have a high reaction response time monitor, and many times you're getting very high reaction response time, like 60 milliseconds. 60 milliseconds. It's like your ping is doubled. And put together all these things, and you are going to have a much better experience. Now I used this site, reaction time test. You see, 197, 200, and it's a bit faster than many players. I have this 180, 202, and with the other monitor I had like 350 or 300. You see, you can see that 100 milliseconds. It's almost like I was double the slowness. Now, getting back to our monitors, you may see they have a pretty high price, and to play at 144 Hz, I'm not saying 250 because there are 250 Hz monitors. You're going to need a very powerful PC. They are pricey. They are more pricey than other monitors. Now they are getting low. They are getting pretty cheap. This one is very cheap. I don't know how it is, but you're going to say, yes, I'm going to need a shitload of money. But we will get to this a bit later. Now about the internet connection. If you have a fast internet connection, you probably have already one of the best router you can get, because at least in Italy, if you go fiber, optic fiber, like 100 to 200 megabits, they are going to send you one of the best routers there are going to be. Infatti, we didn't have any fucking problem at all. It's max speed, and it doesn't slow if multiple devices are connected and browsing through the web. Why I'm telling you this? Because before we have a router that if someone in home opened the email, I started lagging. By only someone navigating or connected to the Wi-Fi, I had latency. Ping wasn't getting affected at all. It wasn't something I could measure in any ways, but I noticed if someone was browsing the web, watching a YouTube video, or looking at the email, I was getting a shitty connection, and that's why, because it was already slow, but the router needs to elaborate the thing. So, what do you need? A nice router. This is one example. I'm not telling you to get this, but it's pretty good. I had the successor. I have still the successor. They are dual core. You see, dual core, 1 GHz. What does that mean? A powerful router will have no problems elaborating the informations and sending data to every device you have in the house. We have 3 devices connected every time, and that was a pain in the ass. So if you don't know why you are lagging, why you are shooting to people and the bullet is passing through them like I had it, that may be the problem. So a powerful router, of course you are going to need an Ethernet cable to play, because Wi-Fi is slower and more unstable. You get a bit more ping using Wi-Fi, but this is something everyone knows. Probably you already know. I can tell you, check your phone cables if you don't have them inside the walls, because otherwise that's a bit of a problem. You can check them, you can check there is nothing getting oxidated or shit. If they are old or cheap, change them. I had a bit of improvement by doing that, but it's not something you say, oh wow, like passing from a 20 mega to a 200 megabit, and use a nice Ethernet cable and Ethernet receiver. So if your motherboard is a bit old, you can buy one for cheap and you can have a bit of improvement, but it's always bits. This is the last thing I say because it's not much important. And now we get to the important thing. Do I need to spend a shitload of money? Because right now it's all get a better monitor, get a better connection, get a better PC to have more FPS, like a RTX 2060, and you say grazie al cazzo that I'm going to play better, because if you are rich you are getting the better shit. But that's not the case. You know, monitors, LCDs are shit compared to CRTs. The CRT monitors have zero input lag. Zero. Nothing. Zero response time, so they don't blur the image. They have crystal clear image where whatever you move on and whatever the speed. And they can run at lower resolutions without blurring the image. If you get one simple DVI adapter, you can take one CRT monitor, 17 inches square, not wide. It's not going to be too small. You're getting a not too wide experience, you know, you're going to see less, because widescreen you will have a wider image. I know, because I still have a CRT television for using my PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, Mega Drive, you know, all Genesis if you are American. And you're not going to need with a CRT. You can get it for very very cheap if you don't go on eBay, because those fuckers noticed that some gamers are hunting them and the prices are a bit high. If you go on used tech shop, you are going to find very 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 cheap monitors that have 80-90 hertz, so they're going to give you 80-90 FPS. It's not like 144, but they are good. They're even 120, but you're going to be looking very much for them, I think, at least in my small reality. I don't know if you are in a big city, you're going even to find widescreen CRTs. They are a bit heavier and much more big than the LCD, but they are great. So low resolution means you don't need a PC that is too powerful, because much things are done by the resolution. That's why I got a full HD monitor instead of a 2K or 4K. That's impossible. My PC can run a game more than 60 FPS or even 30 FPS at that resolution. Cheap, all the resolutions you want, and high FPS too, up to 120 or 240 if you are lucky to get one of them. Probably you don't need to change PC at all. So that's it. That's all I have to say to you. Of course, if you are not good at games, you're not going to get like fucking Ninja on Fortnite, like one of the best. But it will sure help you having more fun, having less frustration, owning more. And now, to conclude, I will show you how I got after all these things.